The order comes days after a Swedish government minister announced that aid to Mali would be phased out. Swedish Ambassador to Bamako has been summoned and ordered to leave the country within 72 hours because of a hostile statement by a Swedish minister, Mali's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says. Mali's move on Friday came days after Sweden's Minister of International Development Cooperation and Trade, Johan Forssell, said the government had decided to phase out aid to Mali. They cannot support Russia's illegal war of aggression against Ukraine and at the same time receive several hundred million krones each year in development aid. Forssell said on Wednesday, commenting on a post on X which said Mali was cutting ties with Ukraine. Forssell's spokesperson said on Friday that the decision to halt and outphase development aid was taken in December and that humanitarian assistance would continue. The diplomatic spat underscores the broader geopolitical shift unfolding in the Sahel's region as military-led states Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger pivot away from traditional Western allies towards Russia. In June, due to the deteriorating security situation in Mali, Sweden announced the closure of its embassy in Bamako by the end of 2024 and said Stockholm would continue supporting the region from Dakar, Senegal. Mali has been plowed by unrest driven by armed groups, making parts of the country ungovernable. The West African nation's military seized power in a 2020 coup and has made it a priority to regain control over the entire country from separatists and hardline groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. While Sweden has deployed soldiers to the region in 2022 as part of a United Nations peacekeeping mission, Stockholm said it will pull its 220 soldiers out of the mission in Mali. In recent times, conditions have changed in the country, but until our last soldier is home, we continue to conduct operations just as usual. The Swedish Armed Forces said it at that time. Other European nations, including France, completed their withdrawals of troops from Mali in 2022. Then Mali has moved closer to Russia and the Wagner mercenary group has been operating in the country since late 2021, replacing French troops and international peacekeepers. In July, the military leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger signed a new defense cooperation pact, hailing it as a step towards greater integration. Colonel Assimi Goïta, Mali's military leader, said the strengthened relationship means an attack on one of us will be an attack on all other members. It remains unclear if the new approach has helped stem the violence that has plowed the country. It remains unclear if the new approach has helped stem the violence that has plowed the country. Truth be told, they just signed this agreement. Yes, and it will take time for them to mobilize themselves, build it, and get the right equipment, trained their both soldiers, and map out how they will achieve that. Yes, I know that the West will be expecting miracle overnight, but don't forget that your peacekeeping soldiers or your soldiers have been in these countries for decades, for years, and the same thing you are expecting them to do magic now. After being in their countries for decades, you were not able to achieve it, and rather these issues even became far worse than it was before you came in. Yes, because why? If these problems are solved, these countries will ask you to leave, because that is the main reason why you came. You claim you came, but the main reason why you came is you are coming to help them, so you keep looting them. So you will never want the same problem you created in the first place to be solved, because if those problems are solved, you will have no choice than to leave. So now that they have asked you to leave, they want to do their own thing, solve their own problems themselves, because African problems, African solutions, it is only Africans that can prefer a real solution to African problems. No West can provide us 100% solution to African problems. No. That's not the truth. So it will take time. I just hope that Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, even Guinea, that they manage to find a long-lasting solution to this insecurity in those areas. It's not just even only them. I mean Africa at large. I hope that African continent at large will manage to mobilize themselves, get the right equipment, get the right information, build their soldiers, and do whatever it takes for once and for all to bring this insecurity to zero, if it is possible to zero, which it might not be 100% possible, because as long as every government in Africa don't run an inclusive government, people will still feel they are being marginalized, and sometimes this is what brings insecurity.